Yes, there's a warning this morning that disabled and elderly people are being forced to choose between being washed or fed, as some of those in need of care receive less visits of less than 30 minutes from their home carers.
Well, now, the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence says that shorter, rushed visits are no longer acceptable. They're producing guidelines for local authorities to ensure enough time is given across the board. Dr. Hilary's here. Well, it's an awful situation, isn't it? If you're in need of care and you're not going to get all the care you need.
Absolutely. We're talking about the elderly, we're talking about disabled people, people who've just come home from hospital. And as a GP, I know that, you know, it's just not sufficient to have less than adequate time to provide the care that's needed. I looked at the statistics under the Freedom of Information, and 593 visits carried out in 3 years between 2010 and 2013 were for 5 minutes or less. Now, I know that as someone who's done a lot of house calls in the past, that's barely time to get through the door, turn around and go out again. Now, these people need to be washed or fed sometimes. You need to check that they've taken their medicines. You need to talk to them. And a stranger going in for less than 30 minutes to carry out these kind of needs is just woefully inadequate. So there is a crisis in home care services. It's not the fault of the workers who do the work. It's the fault of the local authorities, the councils, and under-resourcing. So we are facing a crisis in healthcare. But the nice guidelines that says, you know, visits should be 30 minutes and no less is really good. I can't see it happening, however.
Yeah, I mean, so nice to making these guidelines, but they're also the people that have to make choices, aren't they? So have they offered any suggestions of what else should be cut in order to provide the money for that?
Unfortunately not. It's always looking at one service saying we need to do more here, and I think everybody agrees we do need to do more. I mean, travelling time isn't taken into account for the people who are doing a wonderful job that isn't hugely well paid.
Sometimes the travelling money, petrol money, I found out, isn't paid either.
No, that's right.
Seems very unfair on the care workers.
That's right. So we've got to take the whole issue more seriously, and I think, you know, we make a decision. We either look after our vulnerable and our elderly, or we accept that we're not going to do that. And as a caring society, of course, we have to do that. We have to find the money to do it too.
Yeah. All right.